because I just figured out how to do some recording and sharing the link from Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, Sarah, since we're
Yep,
late.
go ahead.
I have another call in a little bit, and I want to be able to give you guys all of your time. But I just want to say thank you for letting me share, and we will get everybody on. I see more and more people popping on, and I just appreciate your perseverance, your tenacity, and your grit to still make this call happen and to be here live with me. I'm so excited to just be with people. You guys, life has been a little bit more crazy than normal crazy. And our normal crazy is a fun crazy all the time. But we had my son's wedding just a couple of weeks ago. And Steve and Sarah got to be here and be a part of all of that fun crazy. And I feel like I have not had a lot of contact with the people in outside of that wedding world that we lived in for several months leading up to that amazing, beautiful day. So I'm excited that I get to start reaching out and being with all of you as I look around and see the faces on this screen that is looking back at me. But I want to talk with you guys. Sarah was like, after being here, I mean, I think her vision grew, even though she's an executive national vice president now, while she was here in Oklahoma with us during this special time for our family. And she was like, okay, I want you to share vision with my team. And you guys, I feel like I'm one of those MVPs that, you know, now I don't get to train on the nuts and bolts as much to you guys because you have amazing leaders that have taught you that and know how to teach those so well, because that has been duplicated down the line so well in my organization. But I'm old enough in this business that I get to be the vision caster now. And I always think of Nita Irwin as being that person. And so I always think it's sort of funny when people ask me, can you just share your vision? And so it's really a fun place to be and an honor to be here with all of you and that be what you need the most from me. So I want to share with you guys, and I actually made up some notes because I wanted it to be, I'm like, I get asked this a lot, but I wanted it to be like really on purpose with what my vision was. So I want to share a little bit of first, like my story and how I was introduced to Arbonne. And you guys, for those of you who don't know me, I've used the products for 26 years. Now I have no lipstick on, lip gloss, nothing. I just ate. I'm probably going to have to belch during this training because I was cramming food down so quickly to be able to eat before I got on here with all of you guys. But what I want you guys to know is that I have used these products for 26 years because I got introduced to them at a party that my sister had at her home. And I didn't even know 26 years ago what I was going to when she called and asked if I would go to an Arbonne party that she was hosting at her house. And so I went. I really didn't listen too closely to the girl that was, you know, sharing the information and the products, but I used everything just like she told us to. And we did a facial like we do at our parties today still. Whenever I went to the bathroom, I washed my face off and I could instantly see and feel an amazing difference in my skin. And I had struggled with my skin and I thought, wow, these products actually do what it is they said they were going to do. And I had been looking for something like this my entire life. I bought products at night and I hunted them down from different consultants for the next 12 years. And so that's how I got to these products and introduced to Arbonne. But you guys, for 12 years, I want to talk how small my vision was. For 12 years, I thought Arbonne was just a great product for me. I had no vision of a business. I had no idea that this business could do anything for me and my family, because I didn't even know there was a business connected to it. I just loved the products, used the products, and did that for 12 long years. And then the last 3 of those 12 years, my consultant that I found and sort of like stalked in our neighborhood where we moved and lived in Norman, Oklahoma. I got to show Sarah where that was and the stop sign that I turned around and followed Martha McIntyre's white Mercedes into her garage to make sure I knew which house was pulling into that car, or that car was pulling into, that had the Arbonne International sign on the front of her car. And luckily it was across the street from my house. And I thought, gosh, that's where I'm going to go get my Arbonne now that I'm moving to a new community and I am working in a new job, and I needed a new Arbonne consultant because I wasn't going to be able to use the same one that I had had. And so Martha gave me my products for 3 years. She tried, you know, we got to know each other. Our kids, my son and her son are both named Blake. and they both were the same age, played the same sports, and we ended up doing life together, as well as me getting my Arbonne from her. And she would got to know our life and our lifestyle and knew Arbonne would have made a huge difference in our life. And she tried faithfully to get me to see that for 3 years. But you guys, again, my vision was small, and I want you to, as I share these things, these moments in time in my story, I want you to think about your vision and where it is today, and how and what phase of my journey does your vision relate to. But I also want you to think about people that you're talking to, and I want you to have a little more compassion for them. I want you to understand why maybe they are not responding to you and saying to you the same, saying and responding what you want them to with Arbonne, that they're not jumping in this business or, you know, trying these products and being excited to try these products with you that you're offering, or hear more about this business, because I want you to understand and see they're probably at some stage in their vision as I was. So when Martha tried to give me the business at the same time she was selling me my products, which I needed so desperately, I could not see it, you guys. My vision for Martha was that she was a stay-at-home mom. I was an advanced practice nurse with 2 degrees. And I thought, well, gosh, this business, the vision I had of this business was that it was great for stay-at-home moms who needed something to do so they didn't go out of their mind crazy being a stay-at-home mom, because that's what I would have done if I was a stay-at-home mom. It is the hardest job in the world. And I don't know how people do that and not have anything else for them to distract them and to fulfill a purpose in their life besides being a mom, which is a great purpose, but it is not the only purpose we have in our life, I promise you. And I thought that people with degrees like myself worked the professional job like I was working, and that people like Martha worked those stay-at-home little jobs that, you know, gave them that something to do, a little bit of extra movie money for their kids, so they didn't feel quite so guilty that their poor husband was the only one out there being the breadwinner for their family. And if any of you are stay-at-home moms and you want to like come through this computer and sort of like, you know, slap me, I get it. I understand, because that was my vision of what stay-at-home moms lived with. Because I knew if I was not helping my husband and partnering with him in his work to provide for our family, that I would have felt like I needed to do at least something, even if it was just $300 extra a month, and that was all I could do and take care of our kids and give him a good home. I thought that's the best they can do, and I was proud of her for doing it. But I did not see me doing that. And you guys, my vision was not there. My vision was that this is the kind of person who did Arbonne, not people like me. So do you guys see that even though Martha was telling me this would be great for me, and she could see how this would connect the dots for me, that I didn't connect, and I did not have 1 ounce of interest, and I ignored most of her things that she tried to give me because I couldn't connect. It was as if a wall was standing between me and what she had Arbonne and doing for me. So I want you guys to understand that don't take no's personally. Just try to figure out and understand you have not painted and helped them see clearly yet what it is you can see so clearly for them. They have no idea. And that's the only thing, that's the disconnect that people have and why we don't move forward. So Martha dragged me to a business presentation, and I went, you guys, solely so she would not get mad at me and tell me I could no longer have my Arbonne products, because she had tried so many times to share this business with me in a deeper, more meaningful way. And so I went, I made my husband go, because I was like, you're going to go so that she can't say, oh, you heard it, but he didn't. And now if he heard it, you guys would for sure do it. I wanted us to both hear it, both know we could go to her and say, we both heard it. We're not interested at all. Thank you so much, but we still want our products. And so I went to that meeting, and I love that Martha used, we're reading in our book club called right now, Go Pro Again by Eric Worre. And he talks about events, the power of events, the power of tools, and how each and every one of you guys should be using those tools and those events to help give people vision and help people believe that they can do this business with you. And so Martha was so smart that she dragged me there and kicking and screaming, and my vision grew, you guys. But again, everybody goes, okay, so you saw yourself being a 4 wide MVP whenever you went to that meeting. No,
I didn't. My vision was still this big, you guys. I saw myself being able to make the extra $1,000 to $1,500 a month. I saw myself being a barely maintaining area manager. That's what I saw. Now, me being able to see Deanna Heron and Joyce Owens. Joyce Owens was a registered nurse. Deanna Heron was a physician assistant who did the same thing I did, except a different title. That gave me vision. I thought, oh, people like me do this business. And so that's whenever I realized I could do this as a business. And that's why those I stories are so important, and putting people that look like, other people in front of your people and not getting your feelings hurt, that somebody does not see you being able to take them to the top in Arbonne because you look like Martha to them, and you're talking to somebody who looks like me. You guys get that? Can you take the emotion out of it and quit feeling sorry for yourself, or quit beating yourself up that you're just not good at helping somebody hear about this opportunity and see this opportunity? It's not you. It's that you don't look like them. Maybe you do, but if you don't, put somebody in front of them like Deanna Heron or Joyce Owens so that they can see what it is you see for them more clearly. Okay, so Martha did that. She knew who was going to be at that presentation. She was no dummy. And so I saw it, but then I only saw it at area manager. But you know, you guys, what I did was I came out of there, and I came out with genuine excitement. I came out of there with hope for myself, and I came out with genuine excitement for what I could share with my world, because I knew a whole lot of people that needed to make another $1,000 to $1,500 extra a month. And I knew that little amount, even $500 to $1,000 extra a month, was going to make a huge difference for the people that I could think of and that were swimming around in my head as I was listening to their stories up there that night. And so I came out with that tiny vision of being a barely maintaining area manager, but big excitement, big hope. And I went out and I gave it away to a lot of people. And you guys, I went region in 4.5 months. As you know, not because I was planning on it, not because I even saw that was something that could happen for me. I went region in 4.5 months because I gave a little vision to a lot of people. And that's what I love about this business, is that a little bit can go a long way. And why I love like Arbonne's campaigns that they did last month, the picture campaign, where if you do 2,500 plus one consultant that does 250 in their start month, you earn a picture set. Or this month you earn a gym bag because you get somebody who you do PQV 2,500 plus one new consultant. That is huge. That, you know what, you guys, to me, I'm like, that is nothing. I mean, like, if you guys are not all hitting that 2,500 plus one, I mean, I'm like, really? Seriously? What are you doing for your business? Because that is such a tiny, small goal. But you guys, you know what happens is that if we all did that tiny, small goal of $2,500 building blocks like we talk about, do you know how quickly you can duplicate that and become a region? And that's what happened. I was going out and I gave this small vision to a lot of people who hit a small goal. When I went region, I had no area managers. I did not have a region on my rear trying to, get there before me. I had a whole lot of districts doing 2,500. And I went region in 4.5 months. And it's all because I came out with a small vision. I came out with a small goal, but I came out with a huge passion and a huge excitement to give people an opportunity to make $500 to $1,500 extra a month. And I was committed to working hard to show them how they could do that with this vehicle. And because I did, I went into qualification and I went region in 4.5 months from the time. And the third month of my business, I did $40,000. And it was all just a lot of people doing a little bit, because I was just giving them a little vision, and they bought that vision and they went. But do you guys still see, vision had to happen before I saw it. Vision had to happen before I started and before I got anybody else to start. But even a small vision in this business makes a big impact. You guys get that? You get how exciting that is? And can you not get so down on yourself that if you don't get everyone to say yes, it doesn't matter. If you don't get everyone to say, I want to be an ENVP in this business, or CRVP right out of the gate, it's not the end of the world for you. just go do a whole lot of that little vision painting and help people get that extra $500 to $1,500. Guys, there's some statistic out there, and I won't get it exactly right, but that $500 is the amount that most people need to make in order to avoid bankruptcy. Like, there's a huge percentage of people that file for bankruptcy that if they only had a way to make an extra $500 extra a month, they could completely avoid filing for bankruptcy. A little vision and a little goal for that number can add up to a big result for a lot of people. And I believe that with all my heart. So I went out and my excitement was big. I saw area manager. I knew I could make, an extra $1,000, $1,500 and that would replace Philip's overtime, but that I could still work. And then I went out and I told other people how they could do the same. And you guys, that was enough to get me into momentum. When I went region, I was like, okay, now I see more and my vision has grown. But you guys, I will tell you that today, even my vision, I struggle and I know what I see is still not anywhere near what this can be and will be for myself and for others. If I can just keep moving forward and doing what it is I've always done, which is the recipe for success. And today, because I let my vision naturally grow, I had a consultant who never quit on me and never gave up on me. And she persisted in helping me see clearly what she could see, but what I struggled seeing. That today, you guys, I look at my life, and not because my journey has been easy. I think some people, and I did a live call for my team this weekend because I am a cup half full person. I am not a negative person. And I mean, bad things can happen, and I still figure out how to look for the good in it because I trust my Heavenly Father who promises me that what Satan means for harm, he can turn around and he can make for good. And so I just automatically start looking for what good is it that I can do with this. And I don't complain. I don't moan. I don't get frustrated or down for very long before I start looking for that gift. And if you have that ability, you are golden in life, not just in this business. But if you don't have that ability, then I encourage you to work on growing your mindset to be like that and to think like that, because this journey will require you to do that. But what I want you guys to know is that I think what I owe people an apology for is that I sometimes inadvertently may act like that my journey was flawless, that I didn't have any hard times. I didn't have moments where I cried because I had to leave my children, alone again, or miss out on a ball game that, they got to go play and I didn't get to be at. You guys, I had all of those things happen. I mean, I have a picture of me literally in a heap almost in the kitchen floor with Blake sitting in front of me and me reading a note from him and us crying together because I was going to have to miss one of his first ball games, and me trying to help him understand how important he still was to me, even though I wasn't at the things that he was used to me being able to be at, and that I was doing it so that his dad could be there too, because his dad never got to be where I was. You guys, it was not easy. It had hard times and it was ugly at times. And there were days that I did want to quit. And so if you want my raw, my ugly, I wish I could sit here and tell you all the stories, because I tried to drum up some and think of the ones that were really bad. Because again, I don't dwell on those. That was just part of my story and part of my journey. And I heard Cecilia Stoll talk about her hard story. So whenever they happened to me, I was just like, oh, well, that's just part of the story, part of the journey. It's normal. And if it happened to her, why wouldn't I expect it to happen to me? But what I want you guys to know is that even though it was messy, it was hard, it hurt so bad sometimes I wanted to quit. And I banged my head against the wall and trying to figure out what I could do to go from region to nation, because everybody in my world that went region with me went nation right in front of me in my very eyes. And I could not, for the life of me, go nation with them. All of those things happened to me, you guys, and I could have done that, but you guys, I wouldn't have today. And even then, I wouldn't give up what I knew I was going for and at least had the hope for with this vehicle. I wouldn't have let this vehicle slip through my hands, because every time that something happened in my life, I would imagine like, okay, this is hard and I'm trying to keep my business going. And it's hard to keep my business going with this going on. Just normal life maybe, or maybe some catastrophe in life, or maybe something happened, with somebody near and dear to you with their health, or you lost a loved one, whatever it may be. It was hard in those times. But what I always did in every one of those times was I looked at my life in that circumstance and I thought, it's hard with Arbonne and it's hard to keep Arbonne going during this time. But what would it be like if I didn't have Arbonne? And you guys, some days, the only thing that Arbonne made it easier with was that I had something that I had control over. My life may have been so out of control that I couldn't do anything about that situation. And I think, well, what is Arbonne going to do for me in this situation? And the only thing that I could think of was not the freedom of money or time or any of those things, but that I had something that I could work on and focus on and do that I could control. I could get up and choose to work my business, even though maybe I couldn't choose to, change the outcome of just one of the situations, when my sister went to prison and my life was crumbling down around me and I was in such deep sorrow for what she was going to have to go through and suffer, and her daughters were going to have to suffer. And I wanted to change it so bad. And I knew all of that was going on. And I could have been like most people and shut down and go, I can't work Arbonne right now because my life has this going on. But instead, you guys, what I did was, you know what? I cannot control what's happening to my sister right now. And I can't even make a big difference for my nieces. But what I can do is I can keep working Arbonne so that I can have the margin in my life to be able to go and be a support for my sister and be a visitor for her whenever there may not be anybody else that will go visit her. And I can be there and help take care of and provide for her two daughters while she can't. And because of Arbonne, I have that. You guys, every hard thing, do me a favor and ask yourself, it's hard to keep doing Arbonne because this is going on. But what is it that is good that Arbonne does for you with that hard thing? Like John Maxwell talks about in his 15 laws of invaluable growth, is that everything is hard that is hard whenever you do Arbonne or your business or whatever it is you need to do and have a positive attitude about it. It makes that hard thing a little less hard. But if you have a negative attitude or you don't do Arbonne and you have this hard thing happen to you, guess what? It's just harder. So why make a hard thing harder? Why not make a hard thing a little bit easier, even if it is just the hope that you have that it's not always going to have to be this hard. But the next time something like this comes along in life, you're going to have a little more margin in your life to handle it and to deal with it and to be able to help provide and reach out. You guys, I look at my life today. I personally have everything that I could possibly dream of as a why for me and mine. And you guys, I have just an incredible amount of contentment with my life. And that's a scary place to be whenever you're in Arbonne and you know you have this calling on your life. And I will tell you that my new hashtag right now, and probably will always be, hashtag holy determination. Because what I have made my why is to be faithful. My verse this morning in my Bible that came up was, do it as if you're doing it unto the Lord. And you guys, that just is the way I do my business every day. I just like, okay, I may not feel like I need Arbonne, but you know what? And that would make me lazy because I've got everything I need. So why care or worry or try to work hard for somebody else or something else? But you know what? I think, but I'm here to please him. And what I know is that he has me here and he has given me this vehicle. And just recently when I thought, you know what? I don't have to work this hard. I've got a really good life. I could just kick back and slow down. My life verse is Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time you will reap a harvest. And so I know my loving Heavenly Father is saying, get your butt up. Do not grow weary. Not on my watch do you get to be less. This is my calling on your life, and your life belongs to me. So get up and get going. And I love that I know what my real why is now. And even though it's not for one more material thing or one more minute with the family that I love more than life itself, because I get those minutes. And those minutes are given to me freely because my family loves spending time with me because of the kind of relationships that we got to build with this business that gave us the freedom of stress and not having to worry about money and being stressed out with time, and then being an ugly person that tried to have a good relationship with your kids and stuff. We have good relationships because we didn't have the extra stress and worry about money or time. And they got to have valuable, fun times with us that make them want to come back and have more. And you guys, my son got married a few weeks ago, and I used to fear the greatest thing was that my son was going to get married and never want to come back and spend time with his mom anymore. And you guys, I will tell you, I've gotten so many sweet hugs from my boy today, 2 weeks into his marriage, and have heard him tell me more than once, I love you, Mama. I love you, Mama. And you guys, that is a gift of our bond. That is what you are working for, so that it's not that you have, this money or whatever. It's not the money. It's what it does for your family. It's the kind of the gift of no stress. And not that it's not stressful. Like I'm telling you, it was hard, but it wasn't stressful in the way that it destroyed families and that it tore away at what we had. It helped build up and create what we get to have and be today. So there's not a material thing that I want, but what I do want to do is I want to be able to slide into heaven sideways and look up into my Heavenly Father's face and see him look down and smile, because I'm going to be coming in one hot mess. And I want to hear him say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Well done. Because he knows I did not grow weary. I did not quit, even though it got easier for me and I could have settled in and gotten comfortable. I love that he makes me uncomfortable every time I try to get comfortable, because he says, there's somebody out there that needs you. And I created you to be my hands and my feet for them. So you guys, I just hope and pray that what you are working for gives you the kind of holy determination that I get to have every single day, that gets me up early, keeps me up late, and makes me push through the negativity that I want to fall into sometimes, just like the rest of the world, and settle in and not worry about anything but me. And that you dig in, you dig deeper, and you go for it. And you just keep going no matter what. And you understand that people just can't see what it is you have and can see for them yet. But don't give up on them. Because if you keep working and doing the things that we teach you to do, they will see. And you will see more along the journey too. So I hope this helps you. I need to go get on my other call. I love you all. And I hope that you have a different vision and a bigger vision and even a bigger compassion for where people are, and maybe not beat yourself up so much that you weren't able to help somebody get started, or they didn't just jump in and say yes immediately, because you know what? Neither did I. But here I am today, and I think Martha's okay with it. So love you guys.
Thank you, Carleeta, so much.
You're welcome, honey. I love you. You guys
Love
have
you
a wonderful evening, and sorry for the late.
Technical difficulties.